All right, what's up, guys? In this video, we're going to talk about how to build the perfect SaaS company. If you don't know me, my name is Alex. I run Trippy.ai. This has done well over $1 million in revenue now, and we are starting up Flywheel.cx. This essentially started off as an internal tool for Drippy, and it has a lot of the pillars that we're going to be talking about today. So there's 4 main pillars that make a SaaS a stupidly good business. And what I'm going to be talking about today is really what I wish I knew like 3 years ago when I first started out, because I feel like when you're starting out, you kind of just have an idea and you don't really think about these pillars like at all. You just think it's a good idea and then you just go after it. And then you discover that there's a bunch of flaws with that business. But here's the thing, you can decide what business to start. You can decide if you want to start a really hard fucking business or a really easy business. Like, it is literally completely up to you. Problem with when you're starting out is you don't know the difference. You don't know what an easy business looks like compared to a really hard business. And that, like, hard and easy are subjective terms. There's no such thing as an easy business. I just think there's harder businesses than others. And so if I were you and you're watching this video, I would either just, if you already have a SaaS, just tweak your business to fit these pillars that I'm going to be talking about. Like, just try to figure out how to implement these pillars into your business. Or if you're about to start a new business, like, make sure you start it off with at least 3 out of the 4 pillars. Having a perfect SaaS will really need the 4 pillars, but like, the more you have, the better. Okay, so it's just about not making it a hard business. Okay, business in like itself is already hard enough. You don't want to make your life harder by picking a really hard business to grow, because it doesn't have these things that we're going to talk about. And this is very, very much inspired by this video by Alex Becker. If you don't know who Alex Becker is, he runs Hyros. He's a fucking amazing entrepreneur. Runs Hyros. I think it does like $40 or $50 million a year, something like that. So it's a pretty big business. We've actually used Hyros in the past when we were running ads for Trippy. And he talks about these 4 pillars. So I'm going to talk about them because I think they're really, really important, and they truly have shaped, especially how we're building Flywheel. And that's kind of how we saw, like, Drippy just doesn't have a lot of these pillars, but Flywheel has pretty much all of them. So we're going to talk about that. So the first pillar is like, every single customer needs to get a result. Okay, that's the first thing. Every single customer needs to get a result, and ideally that result is essential. It's mission critical, meaning if your SaaS goes down for 10 minutes, people will notice and they will be freaking just like harassing you in your support email, on Twitter. They'll be going crazy, like all that. Like, if you have that, then that's a great sign. Like, just imagine, and these are the examples that Becker gives, like, just imagine Stripe going down for a day. Like, imagine what that would do for a business. Like absolutely horrific. Like, that cannot happen. Stripe cannot do. If that happens, like, Stripe would be like, everyone is just going to try and go and burn Stripe, right? Zapier going down, Slack going, like, as soon as Slack goes down, everyone goes on Twitter, is like, yo, what the fuck, what's going on, right? It's mission critical. It's like a piece of software that people need in order for their software to continue running, right? And so you need a tool that is, number one, mission critical, or it's not that you need it, but it'll just make your life way easier. Mission critical, number one, and everyone gets results. If they're the right ICP, everyone gets results, okay? If you have this, nobody will leave. Why? Because you're mission critical and people need you. That's essentially what that means. Mission critical and everyone gets results. Now, if you have that, everyone gets results, and your SaaS is mission critical, there's other problems that come with that, but those are way smaller problems. Like, for example, a problem here might be, like, for example, with Hyros, right? This, like, for a business running ads, it's pretty much mission critical, right? Because it's just a logical buy. Maybe it's not super mission critical, like you could run your business without it, but you're better off running it with Hyros than without Hyros, again, if you're running ads. Think of Flywheel, for example. Flywheel, you can do churn prediction, but you can also use Flywheel as your ESP, meaning you can set up all your flows through Flywheel. If Flywheel goes down for a day, people are getting hundreds, if not thousands, of signups every single, like some of our users are, Imagine if there's no emails that go out for those thousands of signups that they get, right? Obviously, they're not going to be happy about it, and they're going to be able to tell really quickly. And so that is mission critical right there. Now, the problem with that is that it's not as easy to sign clients for that, because it's not super easy to get. It's not super easy to integrate with these types of tools. Now, that's a great segue to the second point. You want to make it as easy as possible to get results. Now, for example, with Flywheel, this is the main issue. Flywheel doesn't, like, the way around this, right? Because Flywheel, obviously, you have to integrate a bunch of things. You have to set up a bunch of events. You actually have to build out the flows. And so at the beginning, what we're doing right now is we're making sure everyone gets results in the easiest way possible by just literally doing everything for them, right? And so there we go. Like, that's how you make it easy. You just do everything for them and you make it free. Like, hey, I will get everything set up for you on Flywheel, contingent on you actually hopping on the calls. Because if you don't hop on the calls, then you're not going to be successful. I'm not going to be able to actually give you value, right? So, hey, I'm going to add all these integrations. I'm going to write all the flows. I'm going to get all the events set up only if you hop on these 2 calls with me, one with my co-founder, where we're going to get everything set up. If you do that, then yes, this will be free, right? So that's kind of how we're doing it. But again, the thing here is, if you can provide a great result to everyone and it's really easy to get results, then it's an absolute killer SaaS. Now, if it has the other 2, then it's absolutely amazing. The other thing is that you want it to require little skill, right? So easy, it's either very smooth, it requires little skill. And so just think of Uber. You click a button, there's a car at your house. Uber Eats, you click a button, there's food at your house. Drippy, for example, does not have this ease of result either. Flywheel, I think, has it more than Drippy, because with Drippy, you have to essentially build systems, or like with Drippy, it's not easy to get results. You have to be really skilled at outreach to get results, as with any other outreach tool, like Instantly, Smart Lead, Hey, like all these tools. The user needs to be very skilled in order for them to be able to get the most value from the tool. And so what you can do here is you can build systems to make it easy. And this is how we've been able to mitigate a lot of the churn at Drippy. But again, it's just not as easy to get results as, for example, Uber or Uber Eats, where it's literally you just click a button and then it happens. So what do these systems look like? You can hop on onboarding calls with your users. You can build drop-off sequences. You can have email flows, or you can perfect your in-app onboarding. Now with Flywheel, again, we do the done-for-you implementation. So you set up once and then you're done. You get ongoing value, but the technical setup is hard. Meaning with Flywheel, absolutely everyone gets results. It's not super easy to get results, but how we get around that and how we make it easy for users to get results is by us literally doing all the work so that they get results. They just need to approve. They just need to read a couple flows. They approve, and then that's it, right? They approve, they hop on 2 calls with us, and then that's it. It could, like, ideally, it's smoother than that. They don't need to hop on calls. They don't need to approve anything. Ideally, they just, again, Uber, click a button, car at their door. But sometimes in B2B, it can't be that easy. But the closer you get to every single user getting results in the easiest way possible, the easier your SaaS company will be to run. Now, number 3 is how you are billing your users. Ideally, you have a painless billing structure. Just think about how Stripe, for example, charges people. Essentially they don't. They just take a commission from whatever money you put through their system, right? Every time you get paid $100, they take $3, right? Or whatever the commission is, like 2.9% or something. That's how they charge. So you don't even notice the $3 that they take. You just notice the 97 that land in your account, right? That obviously adds up. It's 3%, but it's 3% on everything. And there's a lot of money going through that. And so, but again, it doesn't seem like you don't feel pain paying Stripe, because they just take a cut for themselves. Same thing with like Finn and Intercom. So this was an example that Becker was giving. It's like Finn from Intercom is their tool. It's like their AI customer support agent, right? And they charge, essentially, Intercom has like a bunch of different ways of pricing depending on kind of what you use from their stack. But Fin specifically charges based off of every resolution, meaning I think it charges like around $1 per resolution. And every time Fin resolves something, that means the CS team, which is typically people that you pay a lot more that you pay a lot more money to, that means they aren't worrying about that. And so having a human, like every time you see $1 being paid to Intercom because of Fin, you're saving a ton of money because that went to Fin and not your CS team, right? Zapier billing as well. It's like you pay per event. It's not as clean as Stripe, for example, or Fin on Intercom, but ideally you just want to attach value per billing event, and you want to make sure there is super, super clear ROI. The more clear you can make the ROI, the better, okay? And again, just make it as painless as possible. Super, super key. Now, number 4, this is the pillar number 4 is having your SaaS have built-in distribution. Essentially, the product promotes itself. How we do it at Flywheel is at the bottom of every email sent with Flywheel, there's a little button that says powered by Flywheel. People can click that and it'll send them to the Flywheel landing page. It's the same strategy that essentially every single newsletter or every single ESP does. Powered by Beehive, powered by Kit, right? They all do it, and it works really well because essentially, if you have hundreds of thousands, if you have millions of emails being sent through your platform, then you have millions of little billboards being sent out every single month. And so that essentially that starts compounding, and that works really, really, really well. Now, there's other ways to do this. Zapier, for example, did it through integrations. So they built integration pages, and they would essentially they'd build an integration page where they would talk about how to connect ClickFunnels to, like, I don't know, Close CRM or like HubSpot, right? How do you do that? Through Zapier. And so they would get ClickFunnels in the CRM to promote them, right? Because it's in their best interest for their users to use Zapier. And so then that kind of little thing happens. Same thing with Outbound Sync. Outbound Sync is owned by a really, really great friend, Harris, and essentially the same thing. So he's doing that, but with cold outreach tools, so go-to-market tools. So how to connect instantly.ai to Salesforce, how to connect drippy.ai to Salesforce, to HubSpot, to Close, et cetera, right? So these are ways that you can have essentially your users or have the product sell itself. And the last one is having word of mouth initiatives. Now, these two aren't as clean as just the Powered by Flywheel. This is kind of the cleanest one and my favorite way of doing it. But obviously, like, not every tool can do that. Word of mouth initiatives is great. So essentially how this happens is it's a bit of a triangle where the go-to-market companies did this and OpenAI did this as well. So go-to-market companies, let's just call it Instantly, right? Instantly is a cold email tool. And Instantly, what they did, along with a bunch of other companies, is at the end of last year, they sent out awards where they essentially, like, their best performing users, they give awards to. Now, that does a bunch of different things. Obviously, if you get an award from Instantly and you are an agency owner, you're going to post about that online. Why? Well, if you are, Instantly is obviously a big company, right? Or they probably do like a couple million a month. And so by Instantly making these awards, they are giving authority to, or they're showing that that specific user that they're giving the award to is an authority in the cold email space. What does that do? And why is that a freaking genius move? Well, Instantly knows that if they show, or if they give someone an award that shows that they're an outbound specialist or like an expert cold emailer, they're going to post about it online. Why? Because that does two things. Number one, it signals to like prospects that they know what they're doing, number one. And then also it signals to to their competitors, so to other cold email agencies, that Instantly works well, right? And so that is kind of the perfect storm to where Instantly gives their users credibility. their users talk about Instantly, and as they talk about Instantly, they get more users because Instantly gives them credibility. And so that's this perfect word of mouth initiative that honestly I think more companies should be doing. It's something that we're going to be doing at Drippy for next year. And it doesn't even have to be like awards. You can do a bunch of different things. But the point here is that you want to figure out how to have your product promote itself. You can do it through word of mouth initiatives. The integrations example is also great. My favorite is obviously the Powered by Flywheel, but not every company can do that. It's just the nature of the platform. And so to recap, especially if you're starting out, I would go into a business that has at least 3 out of these 4 pillars. If we're talking what the best ones are, I think as long as every single user of yours can get results, you'll be perfectly fine. But obviously, if you make the result easy, then that's going to be better. If you make painless, if you make the billing structure be painless, then you're going to be like elite. And then if it has built-in distribution, then it's literally just a matter of time until you hit 10 mil. Like it's actually, if you have these 4 pillars, your life will just be way easier. But if you were to ask me what the most important one is, it's going to be customer result. Because if you can't get results for your users, then you really don't have a company. Everything stems from you being able to provide great results for your users and your users loving you. If that happens, then nothing, like everything else is downstream from there. If you can't get people results, doesn't matter if you have everything else. Well, you can't really have this. But it doesn't matter, like if your UI is perfect and if you have the perfect team, if you can't get results for people, you don't have a business. Something I do want to emphasize as well is that what makes SaaS valuable is its sticky revenue. Sticky revenue needs recurring value being given to your users. And so that means your users getting results consistently. And so that's why everything stems from that. And again, the easiest way to do that is by building a company that is mission critical to other companies. Meaning if you go down, they're not going to be able to run their business. And so whenever their cards expire, you're the first person that they go to give you the new card details. Okay? So that's it for today. Let me know if you have any questions down below. I hope this was useful. A little bit of I feel like I have less energy today. It's been a long day. But this is just like such a great lesson by, I'll leave this video down below. Such a great lesson by Becker. And if you're if you're struggling with your business, it's probably because you don't have most of these in your SaaS. All right. And so if that's the case, then figure out how to integrate them, or just kind of build whenever you're building a new SaaS company, make sure you have all these components in it. All right, that's it. Appreciate you. Let me know if you have any questions. Appreciate you for watching. We'll speak soon. Peace.